Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to the Rangers Wire podcast. It's Friday, the 17th of July, and I'm your host, Gary, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dex. Dex, how are you?
Good afternoon, Gary. I'm very good. How's it going today?
Yeah, not bad. Nice weather today, makes a change for Scotland. But we're also joined by a special guest all the way from Serbia, Ivan. Ivan, how are you, my friend?
Hi guys, how are you? Good?
Yeah, all good. We're just looking forward to speaking about, obviously, Vanya Dragojević. First of all, is that the correct pronunciation of his name?
Yeah, well, it's Vanya Dragojević. But I know you guys with Dragojević.
Dragojević.
So the J in Serbian language is pronounced as Y. So Dragojević.
Gary, we're debating this. I suppose we're both right in that sense. I was saying Dragovic, but that's kind of how we'd see the J.
Yeah, it's Dragojević. Just like you can separate in Dragojević. So just connect those two and that will be fine. And Vanya is pretty easy as a name, so.
Yeah, of course.
I think for the rest of this pod, we'll refer to him as Vanya. So just before we start speaking about the player himself, I seen that the Partizan top was released yesterday. Big fan of the home top. Are you a fan of that one, Ivan?
Yeah, of course. It reminds me a little bit of classical Juventus kits with black and white with gold on the side. I feel like fans were asking it for a long time just to be black and white. We had black for a long time, so it's a nice change, you know.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the sponsor, Kappa.
Yeah, it's a classical sponsor in Serbia. They were our sponsors when we played in the Champions League, when we played against Newcastle, Real Madrid. So it's a kind of like a nostalgia one for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I need a player. We're here to speak about Vanya. Okay, so just if you could just give us a quick intro into the player, maybe his background and his rise to being a first team player within the Partizan Belgrade side.
Yeah, well, Vanya is one of the academy products, many that we have. Partizan is a club that focuses on producing young players, such as maybe you guys know about Milenkovic now plays in Nottingham Forest, Mitrovic back in the days in Fulham. So we have a lot of young players, and that's kind of how we operate, sort of like a Ajax way of selling young players. And Vanya was a captain of the team, and I actually have a friend of mine who knows Vanya himself. They live like 5 minutes away from each other. So Vanya was always a talented player, was always somebody who showed leadership skills, a hard worker, somebody who was always looked at as a top talent. And then he had a breakout season last season when we finished third, which isn't the best, but in the first part of the season we were first actually, and he looked amazing. I mean, there were talks of him. I know personally, I can tell you that's a fact. There was Borussia Dortmund were talking about getting him. He was getting offers from Serie A, and then how season went on, the form dropped a little bit from everybody and himself. So it was a rocky end to the season where Vanya was playing every day and every week, and he shown some good qualities. I wouldn't consider him as a top talent that we have in our team right now, but certainly he's up there.
Yeah, no, good to hear. And just, I take it, is the Partizan Belgrade side made up of a lot of academy products?
Yeah, well, we are in a financial situation where we haven't played in Europe for a long time. I think this is going to be the fourth season now that we're trying to get in Europe, which for us is scandalous. That we need to be in Europe every year, because the way the Partizan operates is they sell young players and they get the money from UEFA from playing Champions League, Europa League, or even Conference League. So that's how you function, because we don't have a lot of revenue from ticket sales, shirt sales, and stuff like that, like you guys have. So because for example, our season ticket costs around 4,000 dinars, which is around 30 quid in pounds. So they can't really make money other than sell players. So Vanya was one of the guys who was on a decision that they need to sell him because they need the money to operate and function for the next year.
Right. I was just wondering, Ivan, his playing style, what kind of player are we getting, and his strengths and weaknesses, if you could say any?
Yeah, well, he's a true six, somebody who likes to defend, tackle, pit bull style-esque player, where I would compare him to style-wise, I don't mean quality, style-wise, I would say Caicedo, Ugarte from the Premier League, maybe that type that likes to put out fires, tackle people, get yellow cards, be dirty. I wouldn't class him as a 8 or a centre back. He's a true 6 to me, and likes to play with a guy who carries the ball, who can control the pass next to him. So he's kind of that anchor in the sides. He's around 6'1", 6 foot. So I would say that maybe his biggest question around him is, can he withstand? Obviously, I know your league. I follow your league anyway. And we played against Hibernian Hibs last year when we tried to qualify for the Europa League, was it the Conference League, where we lost to Hibs in Scotland 3-2. We won, but we lost on aggregate. And you can see that game where clearly the style of Scottish football is long balls, physicality, strength, that style. So I feel like he can struggle with that, especially because he was 19 in that moment. He's 20 now, so I feel like he needs a work on physicality and pace in general. The physical attributes of him aren't on the level of you guys' league. For example, Serbian league isn't the greatest league in Europe. We all know that, but it's actually one of the slowest leagues when it comes to playing style, pace-wise. So I think he's going to struggle first season with that. Also, as I said before, I have a friend who knows Vanya, and Vanya lived with his parents up until very recently. So when he's going to move from Southeast Europe to Northwest Europe, new weather, new food, new people, new language, new league, I feel like he's going to not be like a starter for you guys this season, but he has a very high potential, as I said before. Somebody who was looked at by top Serie A clubs, such as I know Torino was looking at him, I know Bologna was looking at him, Dortmund. So he has high potential, but I wouldn't consider him, guys, as somebody who's going to go straight into your midfield and solve over your problems.
Right, okay, interesting.
And yeah, if I may add, I see that guys from Rangers fans look at him being a captain. I just want to debunk that for a second, because Partizan does that on purpose to more or less sell the players. We have guys in our team who are 30 year plus, senior players who are actual captains and leaders. They just do that because he's academy product, and they give somebody from the academy the armband. For example, Milenkovic, who kind of plays in Nottingham Forest, was also a captain. Sahinja Palovic, who kind of plays at AC Milan, he was also the captain. So that's a normal thing for us. We just do that just to say to the guys, you're academy product, you have a certain standard, you have responsibility, but don't consider him as somebody who was the top player, the best player in our team. And that's why the price, you guys are getting him for 5.5 plus million euros plus 10% release clause. The clause, how do you say? Sell-on clause, yeah. Yeah, so you're getting him underpriced. He was priced around 8 to 10 million. The reason why the price is low is because Partizan is in the slums financially, and you guys, clearly your sporting director, whoever does the transfers, they know about that. So they got him under the price, and for price that you're getting him, which is around 4 million quid, I would say it's an amazing price for him. You see really good price.
Yeah, definitely seems like a bargain for such a player with a high ceiling.
Yeah, totally. You guys done us there. I can tell you that.
And if I could just jump in there, Ivan, you spoke about briefly about his personality. What type of, on the park, does his personality show? Is he very vocal? Does he lead by example? How does his personality show on the park?
Yeah, well, I know you guys have a stereotype of a crazy Serbian, since you love a mad Serb there in the islands, but he's one of them, actually. He's like a pit bull vocal guy, likes to put in tackles, like to lead by example, likes to talk on the pitch. Now, again, it's very different when you're the captain and you have been there for a long time, then you go to a new place. I'm not sure he's gonna do that right away in your team, but somebody who was very vocal, likes to talk with the players. I was a season ticket holder. I saw him multiple times yelling at the players. Reminds me a little bit of like a Roy Keane, in Man United era, where he would yell at the players. So yeah, he definitely is a character. He definitely likes to do like a little scrap with the players on the discipline issues. He can be a little bit of a gamble when it comes to yellow cards. Obviously not experienced enough yet to know how to control him. But yeah, definitely somebody who's vocal and likes to stand his ground for sure.
And just one on that, they speak about him being very vocal. Do you know if he speaks English?
I would say yes. But you guys have to realize that in Serbia and Gen Z, people from let's say 2000 and onwards, they all speak English on all levels. So I wouldn't say that would be a problem because I know him and I know my friend that knows him, and he speaks English. So everybody in Serbia, more or less, that are under 20 years old speaks perfect English, just like me. So I wouldn't say that would be a problem for him.
Right, well, moving on to, do you think he'd be able to adapt in Scotland with you mentioned earlier, the physicality and how Scotland play intensity, long ball, but also for Rangers specifically, because the European demand's quite high for Rangers. He's got a bit of European experience. Do you think that'll translate over for Rangers?
Well, that's the biggest question I have, and everybody has around him. And we saw your league. We played against your one of your teams, and we were better than them, but they managed to beat us in precisely those areas which you just mentioned. I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you, that he's going to do it in the first season, but second season I expect him to be on that level. And you can look at the games, man. I remember the Rangers played against the Red Star in Europa League a couple of years back, which is the team also in Serbia. So you can see that the level is physicality is different. So can he get to that level? Yes, but I don't think it's going to be in the first couple of months for sure. He needs time to adjust. And you're getting a player who has a high ceiling for low money. And again, I wouldn't expect him to start rocking and mauling everybody, especially because of physicality in the first season. I would say maybe in the second season.
Yeah, of course.
He needs work there for sure.
Yeah, I don't think there's many people complaining about this signing because I don't think he's seen as a player that's going to be coming in and starting right away. But to be honest, that's the kind of signings you want a big club to make. Signings, you're not just looking short term, you're looking for the future. He's a leader, he's got a high ceiling, he's got experience European domestically. That's the kind of player me personally as a Rangers fan wants to be signing. So I'm happy with it personally.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely he's somebody who has those qualities in the future for sure.
And just so us as Rangers fans are very excited about this signing. But see, what is the Partizan perspective on the move? Is people sad? Is people happy? I know you spoke about the player trading model. So this is it working. Is this good for Partizan fans? Are they happy with it?
Yeah, they are in a way because they desperately need the money. In a way that he isn't, as I said before, he isn't our top talent. We have two more guys who are worth over 10 million. They're probably going to be sold in either January or the next transfer window. So they are quite happy because they think we can replace him with new players of that same similar quality style that we have. Partizan likes to, the Serbian in general likes to produce defensive-minded people. You guys know about, obviously, Ivanović, Vidic, Kolarov, Milivojević. All of those guys are like defensive-minded people. So we are quite good at making those players. So not too bothered about him leaving. However, they were hoping for a bigger price, and we know that we were undersold. That we got him for under the price. So I would say not sad, but not happy. They're kind of between.
Yeah, I understand. And just on that, so my understanding of Serbian players, normally the stereotypical are very aggressive players. Playing at Ibrox, you play in front of 50,000 every week and very passionate fans. But coming from a team such as Partizan Belgrade, where the fans are very, very, very passionate also. So would that make the transition easier then, do you feel, going from Partizan to Rangers?
Oh yeah, I would say so. First of all, we all brought up in a system where you have ultras or hooligan fans, however you want to say, with the stadiums being full, and he showed that he can deal with the pressure of being under that crowd for sure. I know your stadium is even bigger than ours, but we can create a good atmosphere. So I know Vanya himself was as a fan of Partizan, he was in ultras stand when he was younger. So there is no issues with that for sure when it comes to dealing with the atmosphere, and he's definitely used to that. I can mention to you guys, because we started playing last season for the qualifiers for the Europa League, sorry. And that was his basically like a debut, right? So he was under 30k fans in our stadium. It was full, right? So, and he showed that he can handle it. So I would say he wouldn't have a problem with that for sure.
And we spoke about discipline briefly earlier. Is discipline an issue for Vanya? Does he pick up a lot of bookings?
Yeah, he came across a bit cocky, arrogant in a couple of moments. So he definitely, I don't think he ever got a red card though, so that's good. But only one season. It's not a big sample of it. But yeah, he can definitely be a bit picky and sort of be dirty in a way that he likes to scrap with the players. Definitely, I wouldn't say I would go that far as calling him a reckless player. I wouldn't say that, but definitely he's got a bit of a fire in him for sure.
I mean, I wonder if that's potentially because his ultras background and being a local lad through the youth academy. I wonder if maybe he's got more to prove when he's playing for his home team.
Yeah, could be. That's a good point. There was some talks. I remember when Partizan, because our league is similar to yours in terms of you have like 2 or 3 big clubs, and there's a big gap between everybody else. So when we drew a game, it's not a good result. I remember he had a scrap with one player who was an ex-Red Star player in the dressing room, not in our dressing, like in the tunnel, basically. So he knows how to handle it, not to show emotions on the pitch in terms of getting your team in trouble, but definitely has a fire in him. And as you said, local lad, he's trying to prove something. He's a bit emotional. Obviously, the club wasn't doing that great in the last season, by the end of the last season. So definitely could be one of the factors, I'm sure.
Yeah,
See, I like that. This is why I like shopping in these kind of markets. I prefer players that are used to the passion, used to the atmosphere. So even a lot of times we've went to like the English Championship for players that they're not used to that electric atmosphere and that environment. So when it comes to the bigger games, like your Celtic derbies or maybe your big European games, they can crumble under the pressure. So that's why I like this kind of player. I'd imagine he'd be used to the pressure. By the sound of it,
absolutely. There was a derby where we lost actually 2-1, but he was one of the better players. We played against Red Star, and obviously I don't know if you guys knows about the history about the Red Star and Partizan. It's one of the derbies, famous, right? And he played with no issues when it comes to crumbling. So I wouldn't say that he has a problem with that, especially that he is a local, as someone said, and he showed that he embraces the pressure. In a couple of games that he played, I never saw him crumble. Never, ever. So I would say you won't have a problem with that, especially now your derby is even bigger one in terms of popularity. But we have the same one, which is called the Turner Derby against the Red Star. He played all the games, 90 minutes, and then he even I think almost scored in one as a 6, which is kind of rare. He had a good shot. I remember when he played away against the Red Star, but he definitely showed that he can play under pressure.
That's good then. That's promising. I look forward to seeing him play.
Yeah, I mean, last season, Ivan, that's something that we severely lacked was character, was leaders on the park. So that's why this type of player, this profile is not a surprise to Rangers. So we're very much looking forward to getting them on board and getting them into the side as soon as possible, because our season starts 2 weeks today. So my question on that, has he been part of your pre-season?
Oh yeah, he has. We have started earlier because we have, I think in a week, no less than a week, this Saturday starts our league, and then 3 days later we play against European team. I forgot the name. They're from Liechtenstein. We play the European qualifier, so he's definitely been there. And we watched the games in the preseason where he played. Then the last game he didn't play because there was talks of him going to Rangers already. Was the deal kind of being done? So he's definitely fit, and he was there for the full preseason, 100%. 100%. He's fit, so you wouldn't have problems with him being overweight or not ready in terms of physical stuff.
And just a last question, Ivan, before we let you go, is he any injury history?
No, actually, no. He played all of the games. I think he had one knock from like a tackle. It was a mechanical injury. It wasn't anything special in that. He's young. He likes to put in tackles, so that was normal. I think he got like an ankle injury, but he was out for one game or just a knock. That's it. So no injuries, no recurring injuries, no ACLs, hamstrings, and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say that he has a problem with that at all.
Ideal.
Yes, that's great. I mean, Dex, that's me for all questions. Have you got anything you want to add?
No, I think we've touched everything. Thanks very much, Ivan. It's been informative. I'm really looking forward to seeing this player play.
Yeah, guys, good luck in the season, and I hope Vanya serves you well.
Yeah, same detail, Ivan. Thank you very much. Appreciate it and good luck.